Wow. Hey guys, what's up? Just got finished watching SummerSlam 2021, and this is what we're gonna review, right? This was a suggestion from one of my friends on Facebook, Dan Harris. Almost I call him Dan Fisher for a moment. I don't know who Dan Fisher is. Sorry, Dan Fisher. Uh, yeah, SummerSlam 2021. Just got through watching it. Boy, oh my, this was a kick in the ass I needed. This was really good. I really liked this. This was fun. Anyway, spoiler alert, that was fun. Anyway, let's get on with this, shall we? We kicked off this amazing show with RK Bro taking on Omos and AJ Styles for the Raw Tag Team titles. This was a good opener. It didn't outstay its welcome. It got right to the point, and it protected Omos. And RK Bro won the tag team titles. Good, clean win for the baby faces to get the win. And pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool opener. Anyway, next match we have Alexa Bliss taking on Eva Marie. First off, I love the Alexa Bliss character that she was doing at this point. The evil villainess. I know a lot of people compare it to the Fiend and the spooky character, but it is what it is. That's Eva Marie on this one. I like the gimmick of Alexa Bliss, what she was doing back then. The match on the other end, waste of time. Didn't need to be on the pay-per-view. I didn't care. I couldn't care less about Eva Marie. So, I'm glad Alexa picked up the win on this one. So yeah, now less say about that one the better. Next match we had the United States Championship on the line. We had Damian Priest taking on the United States Champion Sheamus. Boy howdy, this was a banger of a match. I wasn't thinking much going in. I was like, oh yes, this should be alright. And then I realized it was Sheamus. I was like, boy, Sheamus has put on some underrated bangers over the past couple of years. I said it in the Backlash 2021. He had a really good match with Jeff Hardy, and this match was no different. He had a really good match with Damian Priest, and Damian Priest had a good match too. It wasn't all Sheamus. It was really good on both men's part. I really enjoyed it. Two big men just beating the shit out of each other, and the best man won, which was Damian Priest. So that was pretty cool stuff. Like that match. Awesome stuff. Probably one of my matches of the night. I haven't determined which one was my match of the night. So one of my match of the night so far in this out of the three matches I've gone through. The next match was for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Usos versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Solid stuff. It was typical Usos stuff. The match was alright. They isolated Dom, and then they beat Rey. And I was very surprised that they beat Rey, but it was what it was. It was the rematch from their match at Money in the Bank on the kickoff show. Usos retained here. Pretty cool stuff. Did it for the Bloodline. And I was pretty happy with this match. No complaints. No complaints about this match right there. Anyway, next match we were supposed to have. This is where it gets interesting. We were supposed to have Bianca Belair taking on Sasha Banks in a WrestleMania rematch for the SmackDown Women's title. The match was advertised, so it is basically what happened. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair were supposed to wrestle at SummerSlam. Oh, the DVD just fell over. That wasn't supposed to happen. So Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks were supposed to wrestle at SummerSlam. Basically what happened was, they did a video package and everything to it. Bianca Belair came out first, even though she's the champion. Then the ring announcer just announces that Sasha Banks is not here and is unable to compete and won't be competing tonight. Bullshit. Lame excuse, lame nonsense. We still don't know, to this day, we still don't know why Sasha Banks missed SummerSlam. I'm not going to get into it too much, but, it was bullshit. The fact that they promoted this match and the fact that it didn't happen, it was nonsense. I didn't like that. And then they came out. Carmella came out as the replacement. The fans didn't like this. It was a bad position to put Carmella in as well. I kind of felt bad for Carmella that she was being put in this position. But there again, it was only there to swerve the fans a little bit with Becky Lynch, the returning Becky Lynch. And boy howdy, did this woman get a reaction. Well, she got a reaction out of me at least as well. Yeah, man, she got a big pop. Probably one of the might have been one of the biggest ovations of the night, apart from the obvious, the obvious ones later on in the night. But up to this point, I think she may have got the pop of the night. It was amazing seeing her return. It made me feel happy. I was like, oh man, I know she came back at this point. But yeah, she gets rid of Carmella, and then her and Bianca have a match. It goes 26 seconds, and Becky cheap shots her and gets the win, and hits the manhandle slam and gets the win. At the time when I first heard about this, because I didn't watch this pay-per-view, because this is when I was on my break after Bray Wyatt got released. I know it's cheesy. I know, I get it. But I heard about it, and I was like, really? They beat Bianca in 26 seconds? When I saw it originally, when I first saw it, when it first happened, my first instinct was I hated it because it felt like that, oh, now that the crowd was back and everyone was starting to come back, it was like, oh yeah, thanks Bianca, and thanks for all the other people for for carrying WWE through the Thunderdome, but now we have the actual stars back. And I wasn't a fan of that, even though I do like Becky. I felt like the 26 seconds didn't sit well with me at first, but knowing exactly now where it goes and the long-term story that somehow WWE managed to pull off, I don't know how they managed to pull it off under Vince's era, and they managed to pull it off, and they had Becky win here, and it all came full circle with her losing at WrestleMania, and then again losing at SummerSlam, and Becky turning babyface at SummerSlam. So all started right here at SummerSlam 2021, and finished at SummerSlam 2022 about last weekend or the weekend before. So yeah, this was a pretty good start. Knowing exactly where it happened, I was completely fine with this angle. Not the fact that Sasha Banks missed SummerSlam and they advertised it all the way up until until the actual match was about to take place. But moments before the match. But knowing exactly what happened with the Becky stuff, I'm over it now. I think it was actually pretty cool. A pretty cool way, and we can ride off into the Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch storyline. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Sorry I rambled a little bit too much about that. Let's get on with the show, shall we? That was pretty fun. I liked it. Now that actually knowing where it led to, I was completely fine with this. But Becky's moment killed the crowd a little bit, because the next two matches kind of suffered because of it had a lack of heat. So we had the next match. We had Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. Pointless match, really. It went about 4 minutes and Drew just beat him. And it felt kind of pointless just to get Drew on the card. Yeah, I got nothing to say about this match. It was just a way to get Drew on the card, and he beat Jinder Mahal, former WWE champion Jinder Mahal. Then we had the Raw Women's Championship match. We had Nikki ASH versus Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. This was a fine match. Like the first 3/4 of this match was just fine. Like, it was a fine match that I just couldn't get into. And then the final part, when they towards the finish, it really started to pick up, and I was like, oh, this is pretty starting to pick up. And just as I was saying, it picking up, we went to the finishing sequence. So it was an alright match. I didn't think too much of it. It wasn't as boring as my nephew thought. Shout out to my nephew. Yeah, my nephew said that it was a boring match and he fell asleep or something like that, or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll see when I eventually get to it. So there you go. I didn't think it was boring. If you watch this, I don't think you will. I love you, nephew. I love you. Anyway, next match we had Edge versus Seth Rollins. Awesome stuff. Nothing bad to say about this. We had the Brood entrance from Edge. That was awesome. Seth's entrance was awesome. They were burn it down. It was great. And the match itself was great. I don't think it was as good as their match at Crown Jewel. But there again, I'll have to watch that Crown Jewel match back one day. Maybe I'll do a review of that show one day. Not anytime soon, because I got plenty of suggestions from for wrestling shows. Anyway, Edge and Rollins, they had a good banger of a match. It was really awesome. I liked it. Good stuff. And then we had the next match. We had the WWE Championship on the line. We had Bobby Lashley against Goldberg. Putting my feelings aside for Goldberg being in the championship match when I don't think he should be in a title match. Same goes for John Cena with part-timers being in a title match. This was fine. It wasn't exactly what it was supposed to be. It was a way to set up their Saudi match. And one thing I will say is I do feel like the Aftermath set up perfectly for the Saudi match. But what I will say about the Aftermath was Bobby Lashley was in the right. His Goldberg's son jumped on Bobby's back, and Bobby didn't know if it was a fan. It could have been a fan or anything, so he just grabbed him and put him in a hurt lock, and then realized it was Gage. It was Goldberg's own son's fault for getting in the ring. Once you cross that barricade, once you get in that ring, all bets are off. So Goldberg should have known that before letting his son get in the ring. That's all I'm going to say about that. I know it's a storyline, but that's the motto of where Goldberg goes after Bobby for the rematch. It's like, oh, you hurt my son, I'm gonna hurt you. That kind of thing. So anyway, I thought it was pretty interesting. I enjoyed the match for what it was. It was fine. And then we had the main event. We had Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, Universal Champion, taking on John Cena, the 16-time World Champion. This was a big-time feel match, and it felt like a big-time feel WWE match. Lots of kickouts, lots of finishers, a lot of stalling from Roman Reigns early on, beating John Cena down and talking to the crowd. Good heel work from Roman Reigns, and I was sitting there loving every minute of it. It was fucking good. It was good. The match was good. John didn't really feel at any moment John was going to win the championships, apart from maybe a small part was when he hit a couple AAs. I was like, if that was any other day, if that was anyone but Roman Reigns, I'd probably think John was going to win the 17th title. But not in this condition, and not with Roman Reigns being the champion. And Roman Reigns retained, and I thought it was a really good match, really fun main event to finish off SummerSlam. But wait, what's that over there? Is that a beast? That is the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, returning to WWE after Roman Reigns retained the title and came face to face with Roman Reigns, setting up the next chapter in the Lesnar Roman story that finished again this year at SummerSlam. So it's weird how coincidence that is. It was really coincidence how we get our full circle we came. As for the Brock Lesnar return, it was what it was. I know a lot of people groan. I groaned at the time when Brock came back, but it is what it is. It's Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. It's gonna be big time feel, and hopefully this year's SummerSlam, with 2022 SummerSlam that we just saw last weekend with the last man standing match. Hopefully that was the last match we see. I don't think it will be. But that's another story for another time. Anyhow, SummerSlam 2021, awesome show. I had fun watching it. I didn't think I was going to. I've heard bad things about this show. I didn't think it was going to be that good, but when I sat down and watched it, I had so much fun watching it, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Maybe that's a bit generous. Who knows? But maybe it's the adrenaline I have right now from after watching the show. So, pretty cool show. I liked it. 8 out of 10. Awesome stuff. Tell me what you thought in the comments. Give me a like if I deserve it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if I also deserve it, if you know what I mean. And I'll see you again in the next video. And I'm out.